Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Friday. If you're watching live, hopefully we'll get some people here in the live. And give everybody a minute to kind of filter in. We got one. How's it going? What's up? Got one person here, and it's got to be you. Got nothing better to do on a Friday afternoon? Apparently not. Yeah, long time no see. Like a whole 30 minutes. No, I don't really miss you. Not really. Like a bad rash just comes back, I guess. Hi. How y'all doing? Waiting on Randall to get back. He's still not back? He probably forgot how to get back, honestly. He left at noon. Yeah, he might have just decided just to go home anyways. But I guess he had to bring the truck back. Okay, we're rocking on this one. I'm just kind of radiusing this spine real quickly. Try to catch it up with all the other ones. Well, I got this one and I got the big chef's knife, so hopefully. I can't remember. I did some of these before heat treat and some of these I did after heat treat. So I don't remember. Looking for my sanding stick. Always got to be careful around this point so you don't accidentally stab yourself. Why would you want to see anything but me? That's the real question. Or I can just get rid of myself altogether. Look, you can look at the ceiling. Is that better? It'll be like a hand model. Problem is this light's too bright for doing this. It's like you're working without having to do the actual work. This is what it looks like. It's like that show, what was that comedy show where the guy like got behind the guy and used his hands to do different things? Well, that actually feels pretty good. Cool. It's all dirty now. All right, so that one's done. I'll do the insides when I do the handle. That would work good for belt sanding. I'm talking about radiusing the handle. Oh, using someone else's hands? Yeah. Still got all this gunk on here. These things kind of in the way. It's kind of annoying. Hopefully I don't accidentally stab myself. That'd be bad. That one little spot. I thought I was going to get away with one piece. Okay, I guess that's good. Moving on. $220. Yeah, once you get the first grit down, it's not bad. I did a lot of these already before heat treat, so they're just getting cleaned up. So all I'm really doing is refining the scratches. Okay, get rid of that. That's 800. I don't want no 800. So now once the handles are done, I'll have to come back and kind of blend all this together. But I want to get it fairly close before then. Cool. All right, so those are done. So I'll have to wrap those back up. But try it on the back. All right, so I got these two little paring knives. I've already got marked on here. Need to thin them all down because it's just way too much material on these. So look how dirty this thing is. I need to clean that. Let's go. Hey, Germany, what's up, man? Heading into the grinding room. So we gotta take all this off. I'm just gonna kind of cut these and shave these off. So there's just a slight taper from front to back. And I'm okay with that. That's kind of what I was wanting. But I want to make sure it's even. As you can see, it's still thicker on this side. So I need to bring that side down just a little bit more. That was pretty good there. I'm good with that. Yeah, it's grinding. You see how it's the grind is right here. When you're grinding that, that's what you're looking at from side to side. You want to make sure that it's kind of even across. You don't want it like one way or the other. And then I got these reference lines on here that are marked off. So I want this to be at this line, and if this is just on the other side of this line, I'm okay with that because it gives it just a little bit of taper into your hand. It's kind of nice. So. A little bit to that side, so I need to add a little bit more pressure onto this side. You see, that kind of evens it back out. And as I get closer to this line, this side right here is a little bit thicker than this side. I'll stop pushing so much here and I'll start to push this back into the belt. Okay. And you can kind of see now right here, I'm right at my line, but down here, I'm just on the outside of it. So we got just a little bit of a taper here. And kind of the same thing here, just a little bit. So as I finish that out, it'll give you a nice little kind of hourglass in there, so that when you're cutting, you're pulling and doing stuff like that, it kind of just locks into your hand. So I'm okay with that. Start this a little bit. I'll put a little bit more pressure on this side and I'll pull it back down. Just a little bit on this side, so it's kind of a back and forth. Warm. looks pretty good. Ooh, look at all this. It's dirty again. Oh man. Whew. Okay. Oh, man, dusty. All right. So both of those, hopefully you were able to hear what I was saying, but I had some green tea, but hopefully you can see what I was saying about there's just a little bit of a taper from up front to here. So like when you're holding it, it kind of locks into your hand a little bit. So those are where they want to be. And the other three, man, feel like my face is all fuzzy. The other three will be getting a little bit more contouring because these are kind of the paring knives. They're a little bit small. The blade on them is only a 1/16 of an inch, so I didn't want to have like really thick handles on them. But with these, where this kind of point is here, where you're choking up on this handle, I'll do this taper until right about this point. So it'll taper back a little bit from here to there, and then I'll have like these radiuses that kind of flow into each side, and they kind of bring this down like that. It's hard to see, so it'll thin this down a whole lot, but it'll allow you, when you're feeling it, your fingers on this side and your palm on this side will kind of just tuck right into that back end, and this little peak right here will just lock it in, and it feels really, really nice. It'll be really subtle, but you'll feel it when you pick it up. It's just a lot of, I think, unnecessary work on these, because I've done some of these before and I kind of just round them all over, and they're nice because most time you're holding the whole thing in your hand or something like that with a paring knife. But what I need to do with these now is kind of lay out the rest of the handle. I don't know, does this help or not? So how I do it is you have the tang of the knife here, and then you have the outside. So what I aim for, I feel like my beard's all like, what I aim for is, I aim for the center portion of this that goes all the way around. So that'll be basically in half on each side. And then here where these pins are, I kind of like to come just on the outside of the pin all the way around. And what that's going to do is I'm going to knock all these corners off. And so this is just giving me a reference, because ultimately we want everything kind of round off and smooth. So it'll give you a nice kind of swell in the back. And I kind of like just a little bit bigger on top than the bottom, kind of like an egg. So because your palm sits up here, and that gives you a little bit nicer pinch. So that's the goal. So let me draw it up on here kind of, and show you what I'm talking about. And I kind of just eyeball this. I use my finger, and see, these are kind of just kind of a reference, but but now that this is tapered, it's hard to do on the height stand. So you kind of have to just get a feel and just kind of see about where it is. So something like this. See how it's kind of basically, you're splitting the difference in the width of the handle material. And then I would go all the way around. And then on the handles, I usually kind of pick a point that's kind of maybe referenced right outside where that pin is. And I'll hold my finger all the way around like that. And then kind of pick a spot on the same side. Like that. And then, so you end up with something like this. And then on the back, I kind of do about half the width. So I look about the half of that width, and I'll kind of do something like this. So let me do the rest of this and I'll show you. You're chunking this off. Now you could go, I could have done this on the grinder already, and just kind of shape it freehand, which is kind of what I do eventually. But I think taking this step to just lay out some reference lines, especially with these other ones that are a little bit more complicated, it gives you good reference points, because it gives you sharp corners basically to point, so that when you're matching up both sides, you have a good line to see. Because once you start radius and everything over, it's really hard to tell sometimes. So it doesn't take that long. And say if I wasn't doing this video, it would just take me a matter of like a minute to do this, but I'm trying to explain that as well, I guess. So like I said, these are not hard and true, but just having a reference on there saying your handle can make you, your handle, can you make that part square where your hand will sit fitted? I'm not sure what you mean. Sorry, I'm trying to concentrate at the same time. I done good work on it. Yeah, thank you. I thought you were asking something else, so. Yeah, I've made a lot of different handle shapes and things like that over the years. But I've come to these styles and these shapes for a reason. And this is my kitchen knives, and a lot of that's dictated on how you hold the knife. Because even though it might have this little swell right here, even if your fingers don't land there perfectly, it's still comfortable. I have pretty big hands too, so my hands fit on there. This is obviously the smallest one, and this is the biggest one, but stylistically, they're very similar. Obviously this one, you're doing more, pinching, so you're going to have a lot more up here, and the smaller the blade, you don't really have room for this kind of style there. So where your hand comes to the rest of the bottom of the knife. What do you mean the bottom of the knife? Like, you talking about down here? Or are you talking about this gonna be squared? This is just blocked out right now, if that's what you're asking. Maybe you can clarify that for me. It's really hard sometimes to understand what people are asking when you're doing something like this, when you're not like actually talking to somebody. So Okay. So on this back end, so I have lines going all the way around this thing now. So what I do is I have this line. Hold on, let me do this so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Okay, so all these lines that I've drawn kind of connect, and then you can kind of see how we're basically cutting off those corners. And this one's not real different. Some of the bigger handles I do, the top is obviously a lot bigger than the bottom, and this one's kind of about the same, but that gives us a reference. This is what we're doing. We're removing this entire triangle all the way up. And I could tie it even up front here. I could take this point and kind of connect those two. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you're just kind of knocking that corner off. So once we do all that, we can take the slack belt or something else. You could even do it by hand and just blend it all. And I don't think I have one in here. I think all my finish knives are in the house. So that's how that works. You know where you got your lines at, square that off. You talking on the back end, square that off? See, this is the time I wish I could actually talk. Talk on here. Yeah, that face is dirty. Or you just don't like the back, is that what you're saying? I have been doing this since 2006. So 19 years. Something like that. And when I'm doing a lot of these, like if I'm doing batches, I'll go into my grinding room. I'll see if I can take this in here. I don't want to go in there a whole lot. I want that dust to clear. I'm about tired of all this handle stuff. You see my phone and everything else is all dusty. Let's see if I can do this. Oop, wrong one. So what I'll do, all right, can y'all see that? Yeah, okay. So what I'll do is I'll take this on here, and I honestly have no idea what angle Obviously, it'll be up here. I have no idea what angle this actually is because I don't pick an angle. I dictate it on. Yeah, I do. I'll show you in just a minute. I don't know what angle this is, but you can see if I'm doing a lot of these, I'll set my tool rest up like this, and I'll kind of just grind on it like this and see, is it grinding faster towards this line or grinding faster towards this line? And if it's grinding faster towards this line, which in this case it would be just because of that angle, I know that, I would take my tool rest and rotate it down so that it run towards this line, and this line is kind of at the, you want them to kind of hit those points at the same time. So once you're doing that, then I had all my knives and all my handles, I can grind all the way around, go on the other side, grind all the way around, and kind of get that rough shape out really fast. It takes a little bit to set up the first one, but once I got that all set up, it doesn't take pretty much any time to grind all of them out. So, and then I would go to the slack belt or something like that and finish them out on something simple like this little hand, because that's what I do. What's my favorite one I have done? I have it in the house actually. You want me to run and get it? It's done. It's up on. Let me know if you want me to go grab it. I actually grab it. I can show you. Here's the template for it. How long it takes me to make one is all relative, man. I'll be honest. I kind of like this little style of blade right now that I'm doing. Kind of just a small little one. It's like a little 3-finger. It's kind of EDC kind of thing. But I made a batch of these last year, and I really like this model as well. But I make a little bit of everything. Right now I've been doing a bunch of kitchen knives, so. Yeah, I think there's probably some shorts and some videos and different things like that on my YouTube or my Instagram of those. That's the honey badger that I was doing, was the honey badger. So that's one of my newer models. But I've been doing a lot of kitchen knife the last end of the year and the beginning of this year. So I kind of jump around from doing cutlery stuff to outdoors to kind of EDC stuff. I tend to like the outdoor and EDC stuff more, I think, but I feel like the kitchen knife stuff is kind of a booming market right now. Hey, Big E the Knife Nut, welcome. Is it possible to turn a cleaver into a knife? Well, I mean, technically a cleaver is a knife, so I guess yes. But if you're asking, can you take it and just like turn it into another knife? You can. as long as it's enough material there that you want to grind it away. Okay. There was those. And this one is just slightly bigger than the other one, but honestly, I might see how that first one looks when I start on it. I'm doing these two first because they're the closest in size to each other, so I think that obviously they'll be the closest to grinding them. And then like these two, the handles are pretty much identical, so I would obviously do those as well at the same time. And then I kind of have this oddball one. It's the same size. Well, it's the same. Well, not that one. These two. It's basically the same knife, sort of, but that's a 7-inch and this is a 5-inch. And for whatever reason, I have been doing those. Women women prefer the smaller one, and the guys typically prefer the longer one. I don't know why. So I usually put them together. It's kind of like if I'm doing a paring knife, or at least more, what I think was a petty knife. A lot more guys like the bigger ones, I guess, because guys tend to have bigger hands. But I don't know, I've asked a lot of people with like no prerequisite as to why or what, and that's just what they gravitate towards, so I don't know. I'm sorry. If you guys are asking questions, I will get to them, but I'm sitting here staring at this thing, trying not to mess it up. Cool. So that's kind of the same way. What time is it? Well, after 5. I feel like that's a good spot to stop because I don't want to get into grinding those just yet, because I'm gonna have to stop in about 20 minutes, give or take. But if you guys got some questions, I'll be happy to answer some questions. Let me know. Ask me some questions. Otherwise, I'm gonna jump off here. Yeah, I'm like dusty. All right, no questions? All right then. I don't know. I might jump on here in the morning, early, But if not, I'll catch y'all next time.